In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on May 12, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Colorado Rockies versus Texas Rangers. The Colorado Rockies, sitting at a dismal 7-33 record, head into a fresh 3-game interleague series starting Monday night against the Texas Rangers, who are just below .500 at 20-21. Both teams are coming off Sunday wins. Colorado handled the San Diego Padres with a 9-3 victory at home, while Texas wrapped up a road trip with a 6-1 win over the Detroit Tigers. Even though the Rockies managed to get a win on Sunday, that hardly inspires much confidence, especially considering how brutal their recent run has been. Just one game before that, they were demolished for 21 runs. Go back another day, and they gave up 13 more to the Padres. Before that, they allowed 8 or more in every game of a 3-game set against the Tigers. It's been ugly. Colorado's pitching staff has been getting torched, and it shows. They own the worst team earned run average in the majors at 5.89. And it doesn't help that their starter in this game, Chase Dollander, has an even worse personal earned run average of 7.71. On the other hand, the Rangers have been getting solid contributions at the plate from names like Adolis Garcia and Wyatt Langford. Looking at the starting pitchers here, it's hard not to see the massive difference between them. Dollander is 0-2 with a 6.1 earned run average in just over 10 innings pitched, all on the road, and hitters are tagging him for a .256 average. Compare that to Tyler Mahle, who's 2-1 with a sparkling 0.7 earned run average across 5 home starts and has held opponents to a brutal .146 average. Even when you break it down situationally, like with runners on base, the Rockies are dead last, tied with the Royals, with a team OPS of just .619. The Rangers aren't exactly lighting it up in those spots either, sitting 25th with a .650 OPS, but it's still a clear edge. As our first pick for this matchup, the Texas Rangers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Over the last week, both teams have actually swung the bats pretty well. The Rockies are surprisingly 8th in the league with a .785 OPS, while the Rangers are just a few spots behind at 11th, posting a .764 OPS in the same span. Neither bullpen has been especially sharp, though Colorado relievers are 19th with a 4.12 earned run average, while Texas sits at 16th with a 3.96 bullpen earned run average. If you've been following the betting trends, the over has cashed in 5 of the last 8 meetings between these two clubs. Colorado games keep going over the total for one simple reason: they can't stop anyone from scoring. In 6 of their last 7 games, they've allowed 8 or more runs. That trend looks like it'll hold steady with Dollander starting again. He was shelled for 6 runs in just 3 innings against Boston in his last outing, and gave up 5 more over 4 innings to the Royals before that. With the worst team earned run average in the league, the Rockies are pretty much guaranteed to give up a big number again. Texas is coming in hot offensively, having scored 16 total runs in their last 2 games. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Royals versus Houston Astros. The Kansas City Royals are hitting the road to kick off a 3-game series against the Houston Astros on Monday. It's a fresh start in a new city, and both teams come in with some recent momentum. The Royals are hoping to keep things competitive, but Houston has some weapons that could make this series a tough one for Kansas City. One of those weapons is Framber Valdez. The lefty has been one of the few consistent arms for Houston this season, especially when pitching at home. He's put up a solid 3.5 earned run average at Minute Maid Park and has shown the ability to go deep into games, like in his last start where he went 7 strong innings. On the other side, the Royals' offense has really struggled, especially when facing left-handed pitching. They've scored the 5th fewest runs in the league against lefties and are dead last in home runs hit. That doesn't set them up well in this spot, especially playing on the road. Houston's bats haven't been lighting it up either, but they've been noticeably better at home. where the team is hitting .266. Michael Wacha will be taking the mound for Kansas City, and the Royals are 1-2 in his road starts. This matchup doesn't favor Kansas City much at all. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. Recently, these two clubs have been red hot, playing some of their best baseball of the year. Over their last 10 meetings, they've split the games evenly, 5-5, showing just how competitive this series tends to be. With both teams riding strong pitching performances lately, it's hard to get a clear read on how this one will go. That being said, history leans toward Houston, especially when they play at home. The Astros have won 4 straight home games against the Royals, including a sweep in 2024 where they outscored Kansas City 21-9. If this turns into a tight, low-scoring game, the edge likely goes to the home team. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. We touched on the pitching earlier, and it deserves more attention. These two clubs are both ranked in the top 10 in team earned run average, Kansas City at 2.99 and Houston at 3.44. Even though the under has only hit in half of their last 10 matchups, this game is set up to be a showcase for the arms on both sides. The Royals have been cashing the under lately with a 7-3 record in their last 10, allowing just 27 runs total in that span, and 10 of those came in a single game. The Astros are also 7-3 to the under in their last 10, scoring 4 or fewer runs in 7 of those games. Simply put, the offenses are not what's driving these teams right now. Houston ranks 19th in runs scored, while the Royals are even worse, sitting near the bottom with the 5th fewest. Home runs are hard to come by too. Houston is in the bottom 7, and Kansas City has the least in the league. With both lineups struggling to generate consistent offense and the pitching holding steady, this game has all the makings of a low-scoring battle. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Angels versus San Diego Padres. The Los Angeles Angels are traveling south to San Diego, California, where they'll take on the Padres at Petco Park on Monday night. It's a West Coast clash between two teams heading in different directions, and the Angels will need to tighten up if they want to keep this competitive. The Padres bullpen finally showed some cracks during the month of May, but even with those recent struggles, they're still outpacing the Angels' relief staff by a solid margin. Yusei Kikuchi has held his own and pitched pretty reliably this season, but the Angels' bullpen has been an outright mess. They've blown leads, let games get out of hand, and haven't offered much support behind their starters. Michael King, on the other hand, has been dealing lately. In each of his last 5 starts, he's given up no more than 2 runs. He's been especially sharp against the current Angels roster, which doesn't inspire much confidence for Los Angeles fans. King's command, movement, and poise on the mound should give him the upper hand once again against this lineup. As our first pick for this matchup, the San Diego Padres to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Padres are finally getting healthy, and that's making a big difference. Jake Cronenworth and Jackson Merrill are both back from the injured list, and the lineup has been a lot more dangerous with them in it. They're starting to play with momentum, and that was on full display when they exploded for 21 runs against Colorado on Saturday. Merrill, in particular, has been lighting it up since his return. On Monday, they'll have one of their best arms on the mound going against an Angels team that's missing Mike Trout. That's a huge absence for an offense already near the bottom of the league in key categories. Heading into Sunday, the Angels were 26th in OPS and dead last in strikeout rate. Meanwhile, King owns a razor-thin 2.22 earned run average and doesn't give many chances for struggling hitters to break out. As our first pick for this matchup, the San Diego Padres to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In terms of offensive splits, San Diego has struggled a bit against left-handed pitching lately, posting just an 82 WRC+ against southpaws in May. On the flip side, the Angels have been slightly better against right-handed pitching, putting up a 97 WRC+ during the same stretch. That gives both Kikuchi and King a decent setup to succeed on the mound in this one. Even with a dip in form lately, the Padres bullpen was lights out in April and still ranks 3rd in the majors with a 2.83 earned run average. King continues to be one of the most steady and reliable arms in the National League, and now he's facing a soft Angels lineup that's among the worst in baseball. Los Angeles ranks 29th in batting average, 29th in strikeouts per game, and sits dead last in on-base percentage. Record-wise, they've been hovering around .500, but that's masking just how poor this team has really been. They're simply outclassed in this matchup, especially on the road. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Yankees versus Seattle Mariners. The new week in Major League Baseball gets started on Monday, and one of the more intriguing matchups on the American League slate features the New York Yankees, who come in with a 23-17 record, taking on the Seattle Mariners, who are just a half step behind at 22-17. It's a solid early season showdown between two clubs hoping to stay hot and build momentum heading into the heart of the season. Looking at recent trends, the Yankees are riding a good wave of momentum, having come out on top in 4 of their last 5 outings. On the other side, the Mariners have hit a rough patch, dropping 4 of their last 6. New York holds a clear advantage heading into this game, mainly because they've been productive against right-handed pitchers, and Emerson Hancock hasn't looked all that sharp lately. He's allowed 9 runs across his last 2 home starts, and that shaky form could spell trouble. Seattle's bullpen hasn't been much better either, which makes it hard to imagine them keeping the Yankees' bats quiet for long. Seattle might not be able to do much damage offensively either. They've been inconsistent at the plate and haven't hit for much power, while New York's Clark Schmidt has been keeping things steady on the mound. He's allowed just 3 runs total over his last 2 starts, and in past outings against the Mariners, he's done a solid job containing them. If Schmidt sticks to his usual rhythm, he should be able to keep Seattle's offense from gaining any traction in this one. The Yankees are in a great position to light things up on offense in this game. They've been tearing it up over the last week, leading all teams in ISO, sitting 2nd in WOBA, and ranking 3rd in WRC+. They'll be facing Emerson Hancock, who's had his fair share of struggles with a 5.7 earned run average and a 1.56 WHIP. He's given up at least 2 runs in each of his last 4 starts, so there's a good chance the Yankees can strike early and put up runs in bunches. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Yankees money line is our full game side pick. Even though I'm expecting the Yankees to do some damage on offense, I don't think they'll run away with it entirely. Hancock has managed to piece together 3 straight quality starts, and if he can build on that and avoid early trouble, then this game has a solid shot at staying under the total runs line. What really makes the under appealing, though, is Seattle's offense. They've cooled off noticeably, putting up just 7 total runs over their weekend series against Toronto. In the past week, their offense ranks 23rd in WRC+, 26th in WOBA, and 28th in ISO. A big chunk of their offensive output is usually tied to power hitting, and with those ISO numbers in the basement, it's hard to see them putting up a crooked number. This one feels like it's headed for a lower scoring outcome. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Arizona Diamondbacks versus San Francisco Giants. The Arizona Diamondbacks are hitting the road to face off against the San Francisco Giants at Oracle Park. It's always a tough place to play, but Arizona comes in ready after a strong showing in recent matchups. Like I mentioned earlier, Arizona had no trouble lighting up Justin Verlander in 2024. Now looking at the other side, Merrill Kelly hasn't exactly had smooth outings at Oracle Park in the past, but he did put together a solid performance last season, going 7 innings and giving up just 2 runs in a no decision. That was one of his better moments on this mound. Kelly's season hit a rough patch back in April when he gave up 9 earned runs in a blowout loss at Yankee Stadium. That one game skewed the numbers because outside of that mess, he's been solid overall. Verlander, meanwhile, struggled out of the gate this year, but has since steadied himself. In his last 4 starts, he's got a respectable 2.7 earned run average, so it's not all doom and gloom for the veteran, but he's still trying to find consistency. The Giants' bullpen has quietly been one of the best units in baseball so far this season. In May, their relievers have combined for a 2.45 earned run average and are holding hitters to just a .191 average. On the flip side, Arizona's bullpen has been a problem. They've posted a rough 6.03 earned run average this month, and opponents are batting .269 against them. That's a major gap in reliability between the two teams' relief arms. Verlander is still the probable starter for San Francisco. His numbers aren't great. He's 0-2 in 8 starts, with a 4.5 earned run average and a 1.31 WHIP. He struck out 35, walked 15, and opponents are hitting .248 off him. And now, he's up against a strong Arizona lineup that doesn't make life easy for pitchers. Kelly's 4.09 earned run average is inflated by that one disaster outing in New York. Strip that game out, and he's been solid in the rest of his starts, holding teams to 3 earned runs or fewer in 7 out of 8 games, and 2 or fewer in 6 of those. With the clear edge in both offense and starting pitching, Arizona should come out on top in this one. As our first pick for this matchup, the Arizona Diamondbacks money line is our full game side pick. Verlander's still set to start for the Giants, and as mentioned, his season stats paint the picture of a pitcher trying to get right. Through 8 starts, he hasn't picked up a win and sits with a 4.5 earned run average, a 1.31 WHIP, and a 3.5-to-1.5 strikeout-to-walk ratio. Opponents are making decent contact, hitting .248 against him. Now he'll have to go up against a Diamondbacks offense that ranks in the top 10 across several key categories: on-base percentage, total runs, home runs, and slugging percentage. That kind of firepower is going to find a way to get to him and put runs on the board. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.